Traditional media has evolved over the years because man is an evolving creature and the society in which he finds himself has changed too over the years due to technological advancements, the new media, and the likes of them. This is the battle for Airwave.
Hey there! Today we're diving into the epic showdown between streaming services and traditional broadcasting. It is the battle for the control of the airwaves. From binge-worthy content on all your favorite streaming platforms to the classic charm of traditional TV, we're breaking everything in between. So come on, grab your popcorn and join us on this roller coaster ride as we unravel the clash shaping the future of how we tune in, ready to decide who wins the ultimate control of our screens. Let's jump right in.
Just as my colleague has introduced, our topic is streaming services versus traditional broadcast media, the battle for the control of the airwaves. Ever since traditional broadcast media, which is the radio and the TV, entered into Nigeria in the 1930s and 1950s respectively, there have been a particular pattern of production and content delivery, characterized by limited interactivity, centralized control, limited channels, and limited access to global content. Whereas the trend of new technological advancement has become more rampant in the era of the internet. Majorly, we have AI, distribution technologies, consumer technologies, as well as 5G and virtual reality, which has altered the media landscape. Now, it has become a trend for the traditional broadcast services to try to keep up with these tech trends. How they do that, we're going to find out in this seminar. As well as these new tech trends, the most prominent has become the over-the-top technology that is the streaming services, which includes platforms like Netflix, YouTube, and even podcasts, which offer better viewing experiences and consumer preferences are taken into note, thereby creating personalized content. This has all managed to lure viewers away from the traditional broadcast media to the streaming platforms and streaming services. In this seminar, we're going to be analyzing the streaming services and the traditional broadcast media, their features, and what makes them stand out, and what the traditional broadcast media is going to do, the strategies they're going to adapt in order to remain relevant and still maintain their stand in the global market. Just stay with us.
Hi. So I'll be talking on the emergence and growth of streaming services. The emergence and growth of streaming services can be traced back to the late 1990s, when companies like Viu Network and Apple decided to offer music streaming services. But the real breakthrough is with Netflix streaming services in 2007. This allowed users to watch movies directly to their computers without having to download or own the physical media. Because of the success of Netflix streaming services, a whole lot of other companies decided to launch their own streaming services, which made the market space more complex and very, 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 very crowded. There are different types of streaming services, including subscription-based streaming services, ad-supported streaming services, and free streaming services. Subscription-based services, just like Netflix, requires users to pay a monthly or annual fee to access content. Ad-supported services, just like Sparkle, offers free content, but users are mandated to watch commercials. And free streaming services, just like the name implies, gives free content, but this selection of content are very, 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 very limited. This will lead me to my next subtopic: changing consumers' preference and behavior. Of a truth, the emergence of streaming services has led to a great change in the preference and behavior of consumers. One of which is that it has shifted from traditional TV. In fact, a whole lot of persons have now cut the cables in their satellite and have chose to enjoy entertainment solely from streaming. In addition to this, it has led to a shift from linear viewing, which is watching a particular TV show at a particular time, to watching on demand, which allows users to watch what they want and when they want. In conclusion to this, it has also led to a change in the way people now watch TVs. Instead of watching one episode per week, a whole lot of persons can now watch several episodes and even an entire season in just one second. These and more are one of the ways streaming services has led to a great change in the perception and behaviors of consumers. Thank you.
Content delivery and accessibility in streaming services or platforms are essential aspects of ensuring a seamless and enjoyable user experience. Effective content delivery involves optimizing the transmission of audio and video content over various network conditions to deliver high-quality playback without interruptions or buffering. Accessibility, on the other hand, focuses on making streaming content accessible to users with disabilities, ensuring they enjoy the same level of engagement and understanding as non-disabled users. Content delivery, streaming services or platforms rely on a network of content delivery networks. CDNs, which is content delivery networks, store content at strategically located servers around the globe, reducing the distance between users and the content they request for. This proximity ensures faster delivery speeds, reduced latency, and a smoother playback experience. Accessibility. Accessibility in streaming services or platforms ensures that users with disability, including visual disability, auditory disability, and motor impairment, can fully engage with the content. By incorporating these accessibility features.
Before we continue our exploration on the streaming services versus traditional broadcast saga, let's take a moment to reflect. The dynamic landscape of our entertainment choices are transforming right before our eyes. This is no longer a battle of platforms. This is a cultural shift. It's a tug of war for our attention. So as we catch our breath with this interlude, let's ponder on the evolution of how we consume content. Now let's dive back into the clash of airwaves and define how we view content.
So let's talk about the revenue model for streaming platform and traditional broadcasting platform. Both streaming platform and traditional broadcasting platform differs in terms of their revenue generation, content delivery, and as well as audience engagement. When it comes to streaming platform, most of these streaming platform generates revenue through subscription. That is why you as an end user, you that is making use of this service has to subscribe. For instance, Netflix, for you to have access to this service, you have to subscribe to this channel. That is their primary source of revenue. Then for that of the traditional broadcasting platform, one of the primary source of their revenue is advertisement. That is why most advertisers pay for airtime in order to have access or in order to generate income, depending on the popularity of viewership of this program. Also, in streaming platform, most of them get their income or revenue from streaming services, while in traditional broadcasting platform, most of them get their revenue from data monetization, where they sell their users' data to subscribers for a fee, and as well as other revenue. So now let's look at freemium model and subscription model for both platforms. In the part of streaming platform, just like I said, they make use of subscription fee for you to have access to it. While in traditional broadcasting platform, they also make use of free online content, which is funded by advertisement. But basically, due to the following trends that has been coming up, the traditional broadcasting platform has also tends to adopt the subscription model. Thus leveraging on audience preference in order to generate income.
Technology has transformed traditional broadcasting by enabling digital transmission, enhancing production capabilities with high definition formats, and also facilitating interactive features. Digital signal processing has improved signal qualities, while online platforms allow broadcasters to reach a global audience. Despite challenges, technology has brought efficiency and new opportunities into the traditional broadcasting landscape. Technology has significantly enhanced streaming qualities, offering high-resolution videos, faster buffering, and improved audio. Users experience benefits from adapting streaming, AI-driven recommendations, and interactive features, shaping a more personalized and seamless engagement. Also, traditional broadcasting adapts to technological changes by integrating digital transmissions, enhancing signal quality, and adopting online platforms. However, challenges persist like transmission from analog to digital broadcasting as the industry navigates the evolving technological landscape.
Speaking on the potential convergence in the media industry, media convergence can be defined as the coming together of previously distinct technologies to flow as one. Under this, we have cultural convergence, economic convergence, and technological convergence. Technological convergence can be defined as a situation whereby two or more technologies come together to act as one. Example is watching TV shows on streaming platforms like Netflix, Hulu, and the rest. Economic convergence can be defined as a situation whereby a media company controls two or more products and services. Cultural convergence can be defined as a situation whereby two or more cultures come together to adopt each other's traits and have the same preference and the same values. Now, I'll be talking about the future predictions of traditional broadcasting and streaming platforms. The future of traditional broadcasting and streaming platform is expected to continue evolving due to advancements in technology and due to the changing consumer preference. The future of streaming platform is expected to continue dominating the market due to increased investment which comes with original content and a wide range of programming. However, there is a limit to the number of streaming platforms that consumers can be willing to pay for, and this will lead to competition between streaming platform providers. Traditional broadcasting is expected to be disrupted by streaming platform, and this would lead to TV companies unbundling packages to meet this competition. Thank you.
So I'll be speaking on original content production. Now, original content production simply refers to the creation of authentic materials that not only add to the author's creativity, but not only showcases the author's creativity, but also adds to the value, the knowledge value of readers or viewers. Now, original content production is very important in today's digital marketing because it helps a brand to create its niche, its personality, its identity. It helps them to stand out and be different from every other content creators. Now, in today's digital world, original market production helps streaming services to portray their content in a way that they will stand out from other people. Unlike the traditional broadcast services, where they have an already planned and set out way of doing their own things, original content production is very crucial in today's digital marketing, as it helps a brand to create their own personality, their own identity, their own niche. It helps them to stand out from every other content creators that are around. Now, in today's world, in today's streaming service world, there are a lot of streaming services that are popping up here and there. You talk about the likes of Netflix, the likes of Amazon Prime Videos, Disney Plus, and the rest of them. If you look at the content that are being released by these streaming services and then compare it to that of traditional broadcast stations, you will see that there is a lot of difference in their content, or in the way their content goes, in the sense that these streaming services inculcate original content. Like the content comes from them, they create it by themselves, they make it their own original thing. Like it's something that should be identified with them, not like it's something that you can see anywhere around, unlike in broadcast stations. Now, in today's world, the broadcast stations have tried in so many ways to inculcate or imbibe these streaming services into their own content based on the fact that they discover that these streaming services are now drawing the crowd, they are now drawing viewers and everything to their site. So they have also tried in one way or the other to inculcate the content of these streaming services or these over-the-top technology services into their own viewership or into their own content. But these things comes with a lot of issues because, one, they have the issue of financial constraints. That is to say that unlike the streaming services, the traditional broadcasting medias do not have enough funding and enough financial capability to carry out these projects or this content that these streaming services are into. Then you also have the issue of scheduling. For example, we all know that the traditional broadcast media, like the television, the radio, and the rest of them, they have a particular, like every day, there is always a set out way or a set out procedure of the way things go, starting from network news to cartoons to other activities, music and whatever. But these streaming services do not go like that. They inculcate the things that they believe that will captivate the attention of their audience more, and they follow it up in their content or in their movies or their musicals or whatever. Then you also have the issue of limited flexibility. This is where you have a problem of them having the free will to do whatever they want to do. In this area, in today's world, we know that the traditional media houses have regulations that guides their activities. Because before you open a radio or a television station, you must first of all liaise with the regulation or the people in charge of the broadcasting outlook and be sure that whatever you're doing is going to rhyme with their regulations and their rules and their ethics and everything. But these streaming services that are popping up everywhere now, they don't they don't follow all those regulations and all those things. They just do their own thing based on what they believe will appeal to their audience or what they believe will gain them viewership.
So I'll be talking on regulatory and legal issues affecting streaming platforms and traditional broadcasting. Now let's talk on regulatory and legal issues affecting streaming platforms. First, we'll be talking about inconsistent moderation and regulation. First of all, streaming platforms have policies and guidelines that control the way contents are being disseminated on their platforms. Now, if there are contents that do not conform with the standard, with guidelines of these platforms, it will be removed. Now, these policies are different and they vary across different platforms. For example, when it comes to hate speech, Netflix on one hand might have strict rules on hate speech. They might remove content regarding to hate speech, while YouTube might not be the same. Let's go over to difficulties in removing harmful content. Now, YouTube or other streaming platforms might have difficulties in removing unwanted or harmful content from their streaming platforms, and this is because some of these contents come encrypted and disguised. So if you notice, sometimes there are some videos on YouTube that you click on and it is entirely different from what you saw on the caption or the title. Now let's go over to, these are one of the major challenges that streaming platforms face. Now, for traditional broadcasting, there are various legal and regulatory challenges affecting them. First, let's talk about licensing and spectrum allocation. Broadcasters need to receive or obtain license from the adequate authorities. Now, radio frequency spectrum are valuable public resource that the government wouldn't want to give to just any broadcasting station. Now, therefore, the government now puts in conditions to obtain license. So these conditions affect the way broadcasters disseminate their information. So this is one of the major challenges because it affects the quality of news being disseminated from broadcasting stations. Now let's go over to the second part, which is competition and innovation. Now, broadcasters have various competitors, which are the streaming platforms, social media, and so on and so forth. Now, this makes them to want to upgrade, to want to innovate, and be able to compete with these very strong competitors. Now, how do they do this? They have to change their regulations. They have regulations that need to be adjusted so that they can be able to compete favorably with their competitors. Now, this is a very challenging, this is a very major challenge in broadcast regulations, now interventions. Now, what are those things that the government have put in place to ensure that these challenges are minimized? First, we talk about the NBC, which is the National Broadcasting Service. Now, this body is they bring up rules and regulations, code of conduct that broadcasters and even streaming platforms are to follow and adhere to. Now, this is done to ensure that the consumers, the advertisers, and the society at large are protected. So let's talk about the social media bill. Now, this bill is not yet a law, but it's in process. This bill is to curtail the level of hate speech, the misleading information that is across various social media, streaming platforms, and traditional broadcasting. Thank you.
Okay, in summary, traditional broadcast media and streaming services have existed for a long period of time. There are two forms of media consumptions that have been prevalent in the media industry. Now, the traditional broadcast media is dominant in the media industry because it has been existing for a long period of time, while the streaming services, through technological advancements, have brought about a major shift in the media landscape. Now, the streaming services have a different model for revenue. They have data subscription, they can do advertisements on their platforms. The traditional media have a different mode of revenue too, which is the advertisement-based revenue. They do subscription. Some persons can pay for time. They pay for time in the traditional broadcast media. So the adverts to generate revenue for them. Also, their contents have limited control. The audience have limited control in the content consumption, in the sense that audience cannot pick the content they want to consume. Unlike the streaming services, where we have the on-demand access, where the audience can have preferences, can pick the contents they want to listen to. Netflix, for example, you can watch your movies, you can download, you can watch your movies, you can stream. While the traditional broadcast media does bring about a community where people can gather around and watch a program. Finally, after analyzing our methods through research, we have found out that streaming services are fast evolving. The traditional media has to put more effort to catch up and keep their target audience. The streaming services, through technological advancement, have provided more ways to persuade and influence their audience, like freemium models and other interesting and attractive ways to keep the audience. The traditional broadcast media have to create strategies to keep up to the streaming services in order to keep their target audience in the future. They have to converge with some streaming services to make sure that their target audience don't leave them and move to the streaming service. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, follow, like, comment. God bless you.